Well, hey guys, it's me, Fisher Rob, and welcome once again to the Novice Angler. Well, I've been chatting to a couple of my buddies, and one of them asked me about something which was, I don't know, fairly new back in 2016. It came out from the, shall we say, the darkness of fishing rigs and things, and it was called the Ronnie Rig, and it has accounted for a lot of big fish throughout last year and into this year, and so yeah, quite an interesting little rig, this one. So I'll jump right in and show you guys how to do it. First of all, what will we need? Well, some bait floss. This is the Corda bait floss. It's the extra strong one. You'll need some hook beads here, which is the Nash hook beads, those ones, but any of the hook beads will do. Some cracking little pop-ups for you. This is the Corda range. These are dumbbells. It's like that on its own. Whoops, it ain't throwing it on the floor now. Look, honestly, that's no blooming good. But you'll need one of those. You'll need some hooks. Always, if you're going to invest money, I say this time and time again in my little videos, if you're going to invest money in your carp setup, some very, very good quality hooks. Always go for those. And again, a quick plug for Corda. These are size 10 wide gapes. Very, very nice hooks indeed. Let me just bend down and pick this little bait up. There we go. You want a good hook length. I was going to say heck lunk. A hook length. This one's £15. It's IQ2, again from Corda. Very reliable fluorocarbon. I've had no problems with this whatsoever all the time I've been using it. It's a lovely little thing. You get about 20 meters there for about £9–10, something like that. But this one's a £15-pounder. Now, what are we using today? Well, I'm using a hook and a swivel to a quick link with shrink tubing. So that's just shrink tubing in brown. That's just quite an interesting thing. So first of all, you take your hook. Now, I've got a basic one set up here for the purpose of one, as they say in Blue Peter's fashion, I've prepared earlier. But this chappie is the preferred hook for this rig, the Ronnie Rig. It's a choddy and it's a curved shank. Now you'll find with a lot of carp rigs that once you've got the line from the back going towards the front and then whipped onto the hook, that it creates a nice angle to make a good purchase. When the carp tries to spit the hook back out, it bites into the bottom lip or the side of the mouth, usually one of those two positions. With the choddy, it does half the job for you because it's already partly bent, as you can see. So it's a very, very good hook to use with the Ronnie Rig, and I would recommend using that. First thing you've got to do is get your length of shrink tubing and cut off about 1 centimetre or so. Put that onto the hook first of all via the eye. So you slide that onto the shank of the hook. Hopefully you can see that. Let's try to get there. So slide that onto the shank of the hook to start with. Once you've got that on, move those little bits out the way. It should look something like that. So you've got it about 1 centimetre on and cut onto the shank of the hook itself. So then we'll take a quick release swivel with a ring. Grab one of those from your tackle box and you will clip then the quick release section onto the eye of the ring. Again, not sure if we can see this, but you just clip it into the eye of the ring from back to front. Okay, and then once you've done that, take your whole arrangement down to your kettle, or if you're doing it on the riverbank, over your little kettle there, get a good head of steam going, and then shrink the whole mechanism all together. So you should have your hook with your quick release or link swivel with its ring clipped into the eye. Move the shrink tubing back up to cover the eye and the hook part of the quick release, and then shrink it down. I tend to put mine just onto the barrel as well of the swivel, and then that makes a nice tight fit on that as well. So that's your hook to the link and your shrink tube down with a little ring at the bottom, and that's that. Then from there we need to think about how we're going to fix the bait onto this, because as you can see this one doesn't have a hair already set up. So what we do, we take a micro swivel, little diddy chaps, and we put that over the hook itself, thread that down through one of the eyes. It's always fiddlier to do it on camera, isn't it? And slide that onto the hook like so, and then to keep that in place we use one of our hook beads, and these are quite fiddly little chappies as well, tiny little things they are, and so you've just got to take a bit of time with that and slowly work the flatter end of that bead onto the tip of the hook. I'm going to be crafty. I've got a little torch here, so I'll light up what I'm doing. That'll make it easier for you guys actually as well. But we'll just wiggle that on, so just gently ease it forward until eventually you can just see through the little bead, and you can see the hook tips starting to come out the other side, and then with your nail sort of slowly work it onto the actual, or over the point of the hook, shall we say, and then you're good to go. So you can then position that where you like. I tend to position that just 3/4 of the way around the curve, so it's just opposite either the micro barb, or if you're using barbless, just before it's opposite the tip of the actual hook itself. Might be able to see that hopefully, and then it forms a little lock between the eye that's had the shrink tubing put on it and the bead for your micro swivel to slide up and down the hook itself. Now from that point we've got to think about how we're going to attach our pop-up. Well, as I'll hold on to it this time so I don't throw it on the floor. This is the boiling, the dumbbell, which is one of the Corda range. They do a cracking little range of fake baits or imitation baits, and this one's a dumbbell pop-up. So what we do from there, get yourself, where are we? Got a choice of little baiting needles. Can use that chappy there. A little bit bare though, I'm a little bit cautious about that chap. So this is one of Gardner's ones. Nice, safe. It's inside a shell, so it's a bit safer when you're having the old needle popping in and out of that. Shaped with the cup there, more for the boilies, but you can use other baits with it, as I'm about to. So all I tend to do is gently wiggle it through the pop-up tube. I'll just feel the prick on the finger there. I'll feel that in a bit. Oh, there it goes. And then gently slide that out, and that's the bait on the baiting needle. And now we come to our Corda floss. So we get hold of the old Corda floss, cut yourself off a length such as done here. Cut yourself a little length of that off, feed that through the top swivel of the micro swivel that's on the hook. So you just pop that through the little loop the other side. There we go. Now by holding these together, you should have that through your little micro swivel there. You effectively get that over the bait needle there, and then pull it through the bait itself. Now a little bit by trial and error, you'll work out which part of that goes down to the micro swivel and which bit is going to come out. This is the only thing, because it's a lovely waxed baiting floss as it were, that it can stick together. So you've got to try and separate the little strands so you know which bit to pull out. And there's the other. Lovely. Now, so we've got that actually on the swivel, and what I tend to do is I try and wiggle the bait to actually just go over the barrel also of the swivel, so it's a nice tightly positioned fitting, shall we say. So I tend to just squeeze that into the bottom of the dumbbell like so, and then again I'll try and light that up for you guys so you can see that. It's not the brightest of days here today while I'm recording, and you can see that that swivel, apart from the loop that's actually on the back of the hook, is very buried into the actual back of the dumbbell there. So that leaves us just our little line at the top. So what we do with that, we tie that into a knot, simple overhand knot, put that round and tie that down, and do another one just to secure it. Tie that down, that's nice and tight. Then we cut off the excess. So don't forget, as I always have, my quarter scissors, don't forget those. Cut that fairly close, it gets rid of those. I tend to just slowly twist those together, and then this is where we hope our little lighter works, because it's at a mind of its own, my little lighter. Oh, here we go. That's one. That's two. Ta-da! Little flame. You do just bend that back and give it a dab. And that gives you a little blob at the top of your bait to keep that lovely and secure. And that's your pop-up secured. So if we can just do that, I'll show you what that looks like. Put that aside, and that is your Ronnie Rig pretty much complete. Got your pop-up on the bait floss going through the micro swivel, which goes over your hook, secured by the bead, and then the hook itself goes down to a quick link with a bit of shrink wrap over the top, shrunk down onto that, and the link at the bottom, the little loop ring at the bottom, you'll tie your hook length to. Oh, I don't know, £15, 10 to £15 line before fitting on the main line. So very simple little Ronnie Rig, but it has accounted for a lot of big fish. Well, there you go. So with that, I'll say thanks for watching. See me once again on the Novice Angler.